welcome to the Red Leaf Retrocast, found on all your favorite podcasting outlets. I'm your host, JD, joined, as the usual, with my good friends. I think they're friends. Colin, are you my friend? Please be my friend.
No.
Oh, worst Canadian ever.
Huh.
You're supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be in your blood.
Let it never be known that
I'm pretty sure it's in the poutine you eat up there.
Let it never be known that I conform to stereotypes. I don't even eat poutine.
There's the reason right there. That would be a really funny reason to meet a Canadian, and he's just the biggest asshole, and he goes, "I don't conform to stereotypes, so I just decided to be a dick."
That's fair.
It's like the wrestler, the Mountie.
I'm the Mountie.
But yeah, I've been pretty good on my end. Very busy. There's just a lot going on in my life right now. Hunting for apprenticeships for becoming an electrician in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of games to play. Camping with my brother and his family last weekend. It's pretty fun.
Huh.
Flew a kite with my nephew.
Flew a kite? I can't remember the last time I flew a kite. I was probably in the single digits of age.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Did it get stuck
either.
in a tree?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Ah, there you go. Good kite experience.
Goddamn trees!
That's what I tell my golf game all the time. Man, I would be so much better if these trees weren't fucking here.
Fucking nature. How dare you.
Kevin, you're here too, all the way from the Connecticut.
Hey there, I'm your friend, but I'm like the nice friend who only talks shit about you behind your back, because I don't want to be rude to your face. I don't want you to be sad.
I'm okay with that.
Alright, cool.
As long as I never find out.
That's fine. I'm polite like that.
Unlike the Canadian over here.
Yeah. Sorry, eh?
The sarcastic sorry.
So sorry. Don't go
Didn't
fuck
see you in the
yourself, eh?
crosswalk there. You guys have crosswalks?
Kevin, this is episode 48, and it's your theme pick. Please tell us why you chose this.
Because I got James Bond on the mind. Honestly, alright, so weird thing. I saw all that, like, Twitter hubbub and, the SJW thing of the week of, like, oh, there's going to be a black lady in Bond, and her name's going to be 007. I went, okay.
So?
That's cool. Yeah. But then I was like, man, I haven't played a Bond game in a while. And I wanted to play a Bond game. So that's pretty much that. And I don't know. I just, it actually worked out. So actually what I did is, for the Game of the Month club I run, I actually put Agent Under Fire as my vote, and it won. I'm like, everything is lining up. It's perfect. So I started a little early, but shh, don't tell.
Makes it all nice and easy for you, and you have that right.
It does work out. I am. I'm an American, damn it.
Are either of you big James Bond movie fans?
I stand by that Pierce Brosnan is one of the best Bonds of all time.
Ooh.
Yeah, fight me. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, he's in all these games we played.
Yeah, so there.
Colin?
I personally, I just find them okay. I'm not as big a fan as so many other people are. I mean, at least when I was a kid, they tended to move way too slow for me. Because, sure, there was always that opening action sequence, but then after that was just an hour minimum of talking and talking and talking. I didn't even care that he was talking to sexy women to get them in bed. It was just so boring.
He was doing his job as a spy. It's part of his job.
Well, I didn't care. I just saw that these movies were supposed to be action movies, and I'm just sitting there the whole time, my 8-year-old self, like, when are we gonna get to a car chase or a shootout? And that stuff generally didn't happen until like the last third, so I was pretty much asleep by that point. I mean,
it's called
not a big
building
James Bond fan.
anticipation.
I mean, I got better about it when I was older. I mean, when the action sequences are actually happening, they're really good. But
It's no Spy Kids, I'll give him that.
Oh, shut up. My favorite James Bond was Roger Moore. I liked all his movies.
Sean Connery was good.
Sean
Yeah, I like
Connery's
Sean Connery.
good, but the movies are very dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
10-ish.
I do like... Well... What was it? Thunderball? I think Thunderball. I didn't like Thunderball too much.
I
heard Moonraker was bad, but I never saw that one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. That's
the one with the laser guns on the moon.
Yeah, I think that was the time they were trying to cash in on the success of Star Wars.
I also like the non-dated titles like Octopussy. That holds up real well. Things are cool.
Hey, that is a great title for a movie.
Excuse me, that's offensive. How dare you?
I mean, it's pussy, and there's 8 of them.
How dare you?
It's like a nightclub.
Yes, it makes sense.
Moonraker was
Shit,
the
Octopussy would be a cool nightclub name.
1979. Is that the Lazenby one? No.
No.
I don't know.
No, that was Roger Moore. It wasn't Moonraker, I was thinking.
Yeah, On Her Majesty's...
Live and Let Die was cool.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service was George Lazenby.
Yes, you're right. I have a funny opinion of that, because when I first saw it, I thought it was just horrid, right? I thought it was a bad James Bond movie. It was probably one of my least favorite. And then, I watched it a good 15 years later, and I love the movie. And George Lazenby was really good, and it was his only portrayal in the movie of James Bond in the thing. So, Kevin, do you have a favorite James Bond movie?
It's easy to say GoldenEye because, I remember playing that when I actually cared about the N64 and be like, this is this level, this is this. I'm, comparing it back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's an easy go for me, but, Live and Let Die was really, really fucking good. I love Baron Samedi, and, no matter how many times Bond would shoot him, his, skull would crack, and he'd just come back from the dead, and I was like, yo, that dude's a wizard.
I couldn't follow that movie for the life of me.
It was fucking weird, but man, did I love it.
Huh?
I loved it. And then one that was on the Halle Berry.
Die Another Day?
That one's pretty infamous.
Yeah, I like that one, though. So.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Live and Let Die is a Roger Moore movie as well, yeah.
He was good in that.
Dude, I loved Roger Moore. I think Live and Let Die was his first one.
What was the one where he walks in on a lady in a bathtub, and she's like, well, are you going to give me something to get dressed? And he just puts her shoes on the floor so she has to, get out of the tub to get them. And he's just like, go ahead. And I was like, that guy's smooth as fuck.
The Spy Who Loved Me, maybe? I can't.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
I've seen gifs
they all
of it,
they
but
all
I've never
they
seen
all
that one.
run together at this point because there's 30 of them now. My favorite's The
nope,
Man with the
there's-
Golden
there's
Gun
no-
in 1974.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's a very simplistic James Bond movie.
my favorite
Simple's better.
would probably be Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
See, actually, you know what my favorite Bond movie is? Metal
Thunderball.
Gear
That was the
Solid
one I
3,
didn't like
Snake
too much.
Eater.
Thunderball.
Snake Eater's the best Bond movie, confirmed. You could tell Kojima was definitely on his Bond kick when that game was made.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It was
sure.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love that you can tell what movies Kojima's watching by the game he puts out at the time.
That's another one. When I first played Metal Gear Solid 3, I didn't like it very much, and then when I played it
Same.
later, then I was like, this game's really good.
It took me a while to start the game. I was like, I don't know why people love this game. And then I played it more. I was like, man, this story's fucking cool.
Dude, when he's going up the river and there's spirits coming at him, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Do you know why that happens? The spirits?
No, I don't remember.
So for everyone you kill in the game, that depends how long that
that's
sequence
right.
is. Yeah.
That's why the river was
And
so
guess
long.
Guess who killed everyone they saw in that game and was there for an hour and a half?
You and me?
Yep. And I literally just rubber banded my analog stick up and I said, I'll be back.
Oh boy.
So, morality. Yeah, it was cool. Anyway, Bond movies.
Lots. Yeah, I really like James Bond. There was the year in college in Germany where I couldn't go home for Christmas. We just didn't have the money to get me home. So I proceeded to spend the week Christmas break, the entire week, watching every James Bond movie that was out up until like 2000. What was that? 9? Yeah, the Christmas 2009. So I was just alone watching James Bond movies for a week.
I kind of want to binge them all while I'm in the mood, you know.
Oh, I was definitely in the
Well,
mood, and it just came to me. I'm gonna watch all the James Bond movies and drink beer and enjoy my lonely Christmas.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Hey, it
to
at
me-
least made me.
still
At
love
least
you.
someone was getting some love in movies.
well, to me, James Bond movies are like pieces of cake. One at a time is nice and tasty, but if you just keep going one after the other, sooner or later you're just begging for the sweet release of death.
I mean, I can't binge anything, even like games I love. I'm like, all right, after I beat one game, I'm like, I'm gonna wait a while before I play the sequel.
You know what? I'm pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
Even
Like,
with
somebody's like,
longer
I played
games,
all
I
the
get like
Kingdom- yeah.
halfway, and I just go, God, I want to play another game right now.
Like, I love Zelda games, but like, it took me a while before I went from like 1 to 2, and like, or even like people who say they binge all the Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, well, you have bad taste. Number 1, number 2, why? Those games are way too long to binge. What do you have a job? Like,
And fuck you.
I'm sticking with it. I don't give a fuck. Or people that said they were binging all the Final Fantasies before 15 came out. I'm like, what free time do you have? What do you do for a job? I want it. Because clearly you don't have a fucking anything else to do in your life.
I have to
Or maybe
agree.
they're single males, Kevin.
Okay.
I'm a
don't
single
fucking
male, and
gym.
I barely have time for myself nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, I got a friend of mine who's got nothing better to do, but you know, whatever. That's a discussion for another day.
Okay.
I was thinking I have a long work commute, so that cuts into it.
Yeah, well, you know, when they have automatic driving cars, I can binge every Final Fantasy on my Vita.
That would be pretty sweet.
You know they do make them
the
now,
dream.
right?
Yeah, but are they affordable?
Yes.
And also, I don't trust them yet.
Same.
My mom has the Tesla, and it drives itself pretty much.
Really?
So I saw that when Google was doing their cars, they did all the tests on like California roads, which were pretty nice and paved and like, you know, well kept up and pretty flat, and then they brought it to like the Midwest where there's like bumps and hills, and the car was just like, "What the fuck is this? I don't know what this is." So, moral of that story is robots will kill us.
Yeah, that's where it was going.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going for.
Colin, question.
Yes.
What games have you been playing?
Quite a few. I didn't get to go over them last cast for obvious reasons, but
Sure.
I finally sat down and played A Bird Story. For those who don't know, that was basically kind of a halfway sequel to the Moon.
Ah.
Yeah, sort of a prequel to the true sequel, Finding Paradise, which I haven't played yet.
Ah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was pretty slow paced, and there was very little gameplay involved, even less than To the Moon. But the storytelling, the lack of dialogue, and the expressiveness of the characters, and the music, it all combines to make a very memorable, sentimental experience. I mean, the ending's really predictable, but it's executed really well. So, if you've played To the Moon, I definitely recommend it. Although, definitely play To the Moon first. Available on Steam and Good Old Games for a very affordable price. Shameless plug, and I don't care.
Ah.
Hashtag sponsored.
Now, I've hit a bit of a wall in Crypt of the Necro Dancer. I just cannot seem to get past the second stage of Zone 2. I mean, I think I'm getting a little better at dealing with the enemies, but it's still really tricky. Not quite Sekiro hard, but challenging enough.
I haven't even picked Sekiro back up since you visited.
I, on the other hand, have. I've made a buttload of progress since that cast. It's like, there was a boss that was giving me a lot of trouble for a while, and then once I beat it, I had access to a new area, only to run into another fucking boss right at the frickin' beginning, so I couldn't progress from there.
Game sounds really good.
Well, that was one of my two big complaints, is that the you go through the in-between from boss to boss almost too quick.
Yeah.
And then you just get stuck on the boss for a while. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't feel like you're making any progress in the game at all. And then my second one was they only have this one really tough difficulty mode.
Oh, yeah.
Which I totally 180'd on. I thought it was fine. There was ways you could get around it. Then the further I got in the game, everybody has their different walls they hit. And if there's no way to break through that wall, no matter how much you practice, like myself, then you can't play the rest of the game. There's just no way.
Well, I'm a stubborn Dutchman. I am too stubborn to let this game beat me. Of course, then again, if the game wasn't as good as it was, I wouldn't even bother, but...
Like, it's a well-made game. I don't deny that. But if you can't complete the game, like a Ninja Gaiden 3, with its 3 lives and no continues...
yeah.
Wait, on NES or the modern one?
The NES.
I was going to say, like, wait, did they really do that for this modern life? I wouldn't be shocked because I heard that one wasn't good anyway, but still.
Well. But you see my point? If you can't complete the game and there's no feasible way to complete it, then...
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really give it too much praise after that.
Yeah, but now that I beat that other boss, I came across this whole section just full of enemies that are very rich for grinding money and experience. Although you run into a bunch of this whole area full of enemies that can literally suck the youth out of you from a distance.
Oh, fun.
Basically, if a certain meter gets too high when you're too close to these guys, you get hit with the enfeebled status. And
enfeebled, man. You should probably go to a doctor.
You basically become a crotchety old man who moves extremely slowly and does very little damage. Not unlike that one status ailment you get in Ghosts and Goblins.
Right.
So your only recourse at that point is to use the item that warps you back to the most recent save point and recover your health there. But in any case, I'm now at a section that requires a lot of exploration, is filled with lots of tough enemies, and at the end of that whole thing is a big monster enemy that uses fire, so wish me luck.
Good luck, Colin. Devil May Cry 5 is a better game. I was when those games first came out, I was trying to convince myself one game over the other, and the further I got in each of them, I like Devil May Cry 5 more. I can actually complete this game.
On a side note, I've been watching more anime recently. I just recently finished watching the original Macross series. And
beautiful.
And I watched the Do You Remember Love movie, and holy shit, that movie's amazing.
Two very different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go more into it once we actually get to that cast on the anime cast.
Yeah, when do we have that scheduled? I think that's coming up later this year.
Yeah, it's in the fall,
Let's
I think.
See. Selfless plug for the anime edition of the Red Leaf Retrocast. That is scheduled for October.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that? How about that?
So I'm ready. I'm ready to go for that one. Anywho,
all right.
How about Kevin?
Kevin?
Hey there. Oh, Colin. Sorry.
No, I'm done. It's your turn.
Okay. Hi, everybody. How you doing? I did it, y'all. I beat it. I've been playing this since January, but I did it, JD. Guess what I beat by myself?
Lost Sphere.
Fuck no. I'm still working on that. Monster Hunter Generations.
Nice.
Oh, you beat it?
I did it. I did it while I was on vacation, man.
Ooh.
I did it. Granted, did I do every single quest ever? No, I did the key quest, and I was like, let's fucking zoom on through this. But man, I did it. I'm very proud of myself for going back to an old Monster Hunter that has its archaic ways. I'm like, what the fuck does this make any sense? But I finally beat that, and then without dragging on into it too much, it was a good game. You should absolutely, definitely keep playing it. Well,
is that the one that came out on the Switch or the 3DS?
It came out on both. I guess
Okay.
Generations Ultimate is you can transfer your
now
stuff.
I understand. And which version did you play?
3DS, because I'm not buying it twice.
Okay.
And then, so after I beat that, I was like, all right, well, I brought other games to play with me just in case I beat Monster Hunter. And then I played a game kind of in vein of what we're doing, but not exactly. So I played James Pond Robocod for the DS. Because I liked the first James Pond, and I was like, huh, okay, I think we bought it at Retro World last year, right? Did I?
I think you did, yes.
I think I did. So I was like, all right, well, let's try this and turn out. Hey, James Pond Robocod sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I liked the first one. I liked the first one a lot, and I was like, all right, let's try this. I don't know if the Genesis port was like this because I don't remember, but the DS port was just like, yo, you're in this game, let's go. I'm like, okay, I'm in a fucking castle. What's this castle? There's collectible. I'll get the collectibles, and I have like a map. And I'm like, what is the map? Is okay, whatever. So I'm hitting all the buttons, and L brings up like a stat screen. And I was like, what the fuck does this tell me? Why do I only start with 40 health out of 100? Okay. So I get a collectible, one goes down. I'm like, great. What does this even mean? All these doors are locked, and I'm like, what, is this like a hub world? And I'm like, okay. So running around, I get to the first door, and then like without any loading or like telling you like now entering this world, it's just like boom, level. What do I do in this level? Fucking I don't know, kid, figure it out. And I'm like running around, moving too fast. There's like elves for some fucking reason I gotta collect. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And eventually I figure out that you have to collect enough elves to get through a door to bring you to the next section of the level, and so on and so forth, right? Does this sound familiar?
It does.
Okay, so here's the thing that kills this fucking game for me. It does the same goddamn thing Maximo does.
Oh,
Same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where if you fucking beat a world with 1 life and 20 health and you save, that's all you fucking get.
Ah, shit.
It's it. So fuck this game. I'm never playing that again. I put it in my trade pile already. I don't get why, like, just if I die, I get a game over. Just fucking give me my stuff back and I'll start from there, you know? Like, what? Like, I found no other way to get an extra life in that game. So, fuck that. I'm not playing that anymore. Because I hate when games do that. It's a bad way to go about it. So I was like, alright, fuck this game. Let me play something else that I brought with me. And I brought Mega Man Zero Collection.
Oh.
Which, by the way, is such a good deal if you have a DS. For all 4 Mega Man Zero games. And so I've beaten 1, 2, and 3. I'm on 4 now. And one had kind of the same issue as I just talked about, but like there were... Like, Mega Man Zero's been, like, balancing ways to, like, it knows it's hard. So, like, the first game, you could give up on a level and just skip it. But if you do that, you don't get the power-up.
Right.
So it's like, okay, all right. So 2, I don't remember what 2 did. But 2 was, like, the best one so far. 3 was like, okay, you can go to the levels, but in every level, there's this green door. And if you go in the green door, you get to this, like, easy mode of the level. And, like, health drops are everywhere, but, like, you can still beat the level.
Ah.
So, okay, it was fine. I kind of did most of the game that way, because I was like, I didn't see any penalty. So I was like, sure, whatever, I'll do this. And then 4, as I'm playing it does this weird thing where, like, you can pick a level and then you can control the weather. I was like, what? Why would I want to control the weather? It's like, oh, you want it to be rainy, nighttime, sunny? I'm like, well, fucking why wouldn't I want sunny weather? That sounds fine. Turns out, some levels... If it's sunnier, it's harder, and in some levels, it's stormier, it's harder.
Oh, that's kind of a cool little mechanic there.
Right, but anyway, so I was playing the first 4 levels on sunny, and then I was like reading a level order, because I was like, let's see what level I'm supposed to do this in, right? So I beat this electric boss, and it says like, oh, after you beat this electric boss, you get the thunder stab. And I'm like, I didn't get a thunder stab. And I'm looking up, why didn't I do this? Turns out that I found out the weather was the difficulty. And if you don't play on the harder difficulty, you don't get the boss's power.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And like, the game kind of briefly describes what weather does, but it doesn't say like, hey, you better do it on the normal difficulty or fuck you. But I didn't even know it was a difficulty switch at the time. I had to read this in a guide. So I'm like, maybe I can go back and do that level again. And nope, once you beat that boss, he's dead.
Oh.
So I have to go through the rest of this game without a fucking thunder power.
Would it be better just to start over at that point?
No, I'm not doing that. So I just learned, like, okay, I'll do every level and the what I didn't know was a difficulty switch, but I'll make sure it's on, like, there's a little indicator around the level of, like, sparkle gold, that's the right thing. I didn't notice. And,
yeah, just little tiny quips that you just don't think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, so I had to go through this game without the thunder power. So what our boss's weakness is that? Fuck me. But, I don't know, overall it's still a good Mega Man Zero game, and if you haven't played this collection for the DS, you're missing the fuck out. It's so good. And if you're really like turned off by Mega Man difficulty, there's actually a thing at the title screen called Easy Scenario where you literally just kind of breeze through all 4 games if you want and get the weird ass lore of Mega Man Zero, which, anime. So
Sure.
There's that. That's pretty much how I describe the plot of Mega Man games after like 6 is just anime or X3. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm still playing Cuphead. I knocked out a couple bosses this morning. What else? Lost Sphere. Good RPG. I don't care what you say. I found one fight where I had to use the Volco suit. And that's it. I literally haven't used it since then, but then I went on vacation, so. What else have I been playing? Fuck.
You've just been rolling and playing games lately.
Well, I mean, it's really these 4. Like, I'm kind of remember what I did before I left. I don't know, me and my friend started Vice City, but we only played that once so far. That game aged weird. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else beyond that. Words with Friends 2. Alright, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, games.
Still chipping away at the Yakuza series. I'm playing Judgment Down, so I kind of put Yakuza 0 down yet again. But yeah, Judgment is just a fun little mystery game. It's almost like the Phoenix Wright games, except within the Yakuza world. I quite like it.
I heard there was a scene where you get to photograph some ladies.
You get to do a lot of things in that game.
Can you buy their bathwater?
And get herpes? No.
Sorry. I just wanted to know for a friend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How much yen is it?
How much yen is the bathwater?
Yes.
1,500.
Oh, jeez.
1,500 yen. The same as the Dragon Gate live service.
Oh, good. I'll buy that, please.
Yeah, right. I put the 2 Final Fantasy games down for a little bit because I did buy 3 games in June: Mario Maker, Judgment, and Bloodstained.
Shit, that's what else I was playing. Fuck, that's right. You get it.
What?
Mario Maker. I was like, I knew there's something else.
Yeah. So Mario Maker 2 has been mostly my my gaming focus. I'm trying to think of a good level to make in the 3D world. I got a few ideas I'm gonna throw in there and see if I can make just a nice little level. Nothing too hard, nothing too ragey. I made a 1-screen puzzle level, which it's simplistic, it's short, and it has a little difficulty to it. You just got to figure out what that difficulty is. Once you got it, then it's actually quite easy. And then I tried playing a few levels from the creator that made 1-1, but with a twist level. Have you guys seen this thing?
No.
Nope.
So it's a reimagining, if you will, of Super Mario Bros. Very first level, right? But now there's nothing but moving fire, the fire lines.
Oh yeah,
no.
I've seen this before.
All throughout, and you have to find each little tiny window where there's an opening for you to advance in the level. It's regarded as the hardest Mario Maker level of all time right now.
Geez.
Fucking Ross make this?
It has like over 350,000 attempts.
Oh no.
And only like 150 people have completed the level.
Oh man.
Yeah, it came out like 6 days ago. I got about halfway through the level before I just kind of went, I'm out. So I did play it for a while and try. And then I played 2 more of this guy's levels. He's from the Netherlands, I believe. And one I just didn't like at all. At least with a twist level, you could see what you need to do. Find the window and make the jump properly, and you'll get through it, right? This one level is literally just you run, hit the on-off switch, and directly underneath there's the block that activates, right? So you have to run, and at the last second when you jump, you hold down, so Mario's ducking in Super Mario World, and he'll glitch through the bottom block and land up on the top one.
Huh.
And you have to do that like 5 times.
Oh jeez.
That's bad.
So I'm like, this level's not fun. I hate this. It's a neat little glitch that you might be able to convince me to do once, but not more than that. kind of situation.
Oh, yeah.
Because it felt like just luck if I would land it or not. Because the momentum would always like take you through or, whatever. So that level's no fun. A level I really enjoyed was one that was called wall jumping in the 3D World land. And he utilized all of the interesting, unique 3D World mechanics involved with wall jumping. So I didn't know this, but if you hold down the trigger in 3D, hold down the trigger and hold up on the analog stick, you will make Mario spin on the ground, and then if you jump, he jumps like twice as high.
Huh.
I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was the thing. And as soon as I figured that out, luckily someone in the comments, like on the level, said that's what you need to do. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm trying it, nothing's working, and I finally got it to work. I'm like, what did I do? But once I figured that out, then it was manipulating those jumping mechanics into the wall jumping as you progress through the level. So there's some really interesting and difficult jumps that you got to make. And at the end, he puts you in this, like, I put a screenshot of it on Twitter, where when you finally do get to the end, if you even have the patience for it, you have to wall jump this tiny little space in between spike blocks.
Oh, no.
To get to the flag. So I must have... let's see, the level took me 40 minutes, and I was at least on that last jump for 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That was quite awful.
Oh, boy.
So that was Mario Maker 2. I love it so much more than the first one, and I really liked the first one, but they added, again, I spoke about this in the June Modern Gamecast episode. What they added makes it feel like a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
They improved a lot of things. I have no doubt they'll just come out with more content, like all the costumes, like they did with the first one. Yeah, it's really fun. Once you figure out a lot of the controls and mechanics to each world, then you can start getting really, really creative with everything.
Nice.
Yeah. And speaking of creativity, I've been clamoring for the game Dreams to come out for like a year now.
Ah, yeah.
If you remember me talking about it, Colin.
Yes, I do, although I haven't thought about it in a long time.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out in like August of last year.
Oh, yeah?
And then it was delayed, and it came out early access for creators only in, I want to say, March.
Uh-huh.
And now everyone who just wants to play and maybe create a simple little level themselves, we're just waiting for this game to come out. And I don't get why they're doing it. Maybe they just want because the making mechanic is so in depth that they're allowing a long window for there to be enough user created levels.
Dreams is never coming out.
But I've just been watching like random YouTube and Twitter videos of some of these levels that people have created in Dreams, and the one that stood out the most was someone made the Final Fantasy VII remake in Dreams.
What?
Faster than Square. Good. Is it a trilogy?
I don't know, but there's like a 3-minute video of that opening fight scene of the big robot, and you can switch between all the characters. There's limit break mechanics. It's just nonsense that's how deep Dreams is. It's crazy.
I don't understand how that game can be that deep. Like, I don't know if it's going to be as deep as we think it all is, but I guess if you can do that, that's impressive.
But yeah, like, just YouTube and search on Twitter, like, some user-created levels in Dreams. It's quite something. There was a whole, like, orchestra someone made where you're the maestro, and every time your whole goal of the level is to try and get this perfect symphony.
Ah, yeah.
With all of it, it was wild.
That's
like,
pretty
whoa.
nuts.
I wonder if this game's actually going to be as good as, like, it seems, though. You know?
Cautious
I
optimism?
think it's more... Yeah, I'm really excited for it. If everything I'm seeing is right, and you can just go like Little Big Planet, I wasn't into the level creation of it, but I really liked playing people's creations of it, where they'd make a Lego world or whatever it might be. So if we weren't in this era where the gamers are very creative and they're putting that in the game themselves, I mean, look at Mario Maker 2. People are just filled with nonsense and how creative they are. So what I'm seeing from Dreams makes me very, very optimistic.
I just feel like it's going to scare people off with how deep it is, and everyone's going to be like, I ain't making the level, fuck that.
Well, that's why I'm in this theory now where they had this early access for people that wanted to make levels, so then people like, say, you, Kevin, who don't want to make levels, can just play them. Right?
I guess that was my issue with Little Big Planet. It just seemed too deep.
Yeah, it does seem pretty intimidating with just how many, the sheer number of options you have.
And their promise of you could put the game on PlayStation Store and sell. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Sony's gonna be like, no, the fuck you can't. Who are you, asshole? No, I'm not gonna publish your shitty indie game again. I don't see that happening. I feel like they're getting to the No Man's Sky territory of promises.
That is true.
Yeah, so
I don't know if Dreams has reached that point yet. So
no, not yet. But I'm saying if they're gonna promise then some little kid's gonna get his heart set. I'm gonna make a fucking Pac-Man clone and people are gonna buy it on PSN. I'm gonna be rich, and then I'm like, you don't fucking understand. You know what I always wanted to work? While we're kind of on the same idea, I always wanted RPG Maker to be able to publish and sell that game. Not the PC one, the ones they sell for PlayStation and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're locked to that system. There's no way to get them off, as far as I can tell, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I tried looking up. They made one for 3DS, and I was like, where the fuck am I going to put that game if I make it? Hey guys, I made this 40-hour RPG for you to play on my 3DS. So I hope you like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
It's just, yeah, well, you should, because you're an old wizard, right?
You hurt me.
Yeah,
all right,
it's fine.
All right, so we got 3 topics we need to talk about. Let's let me play. Where's There he is. Play Crash Bandicoot, and we can move on.
Okay.
This sounds like silence to us, right? You could tell me it's anything. I'll believe you.
How do the boys at Red Leaf Retrocast really feel about console hard drive space?
And then for Christmas last year, I got a 4 terabyte hard drive as a gift. So I was like, well, what am I going to use this for? I know all of the games. So, is it overkill? Yes. Do I care? No. Look at my large penis.
Wow.
When you start comparing your large penis to storage space on a PS4, maybe life just hasn't gone your way.
Let me tell you, it's going exactly my way because of my large hard drive and penis.
Oh, Red Leaf Retrocast, all right. I guess your hard drive space is equivalent to your penis size. And now, back to the show. Alrighty. So I have the first topic. Let's see if we can do this. I kind of like how we each have a topic, and we're each going to lead it. So the TurboGrafx 16 Mini is officially on pre-order via Amazon. It's an Amazon exclusive for $100.
Nice.
That is way too much.
So yeah, when I saw the price tag, I was a little off-put of it. However, I think I can understand to an extent, because it was my understanding that there was only going to be 25 titles for a PC Engine Mini and a TurboGrafx Mini, and they were trying to make the Mini versions kind of exclusive to, and the games very reminiscent of what came out in that market. Well, as we know, the PC Engine had a billion more titles, right? It just never made it stateside. The whole reason why I have the modded PC Engine, where it can just kind of play TurboGrafx games. Well, what they ended up doing is there's going to be 24 games for the TurboGrafx 16, which will be in English, and then 26 games for the PC Engine, and they're both going to be on the same mini. So you'll have 50 games. So that's a big improvement. The Japanese games will be just in Japanese. So then I got curious. So how is this going to work then for something like Snatcher? Right? Because I would love to play Snatcher on the PC Engine. But it's only in Japanese, so you wouldn't understand any of it. Unless you speak it, of course. And there is some crossover. Like, Ys Book 1 and 2 are on both a Japanese and an English version. So it's actually... I guess you can... If you want to count that as 2 games right there alone, then that would work. Alright, Kitty hit the table. So what...
Mr. Kitty.
Yeah, he's bad.
Bad Kitty.
Bad Mr. Kitty.
So what do you guys think of this TurboGrafx news? Because I'm personally optimistic, but I'm also in the negative because we saw what happened to the Neo Geo Mini when that came out.
And the PlayStation Mini.
The Neo Geo Mini? I didn't even know that came out.
You're better off, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's the PlayStation Mini was clearly a cash grab. That's why Sony did it. They put no effort into it. It was very obvious the second I saw there were no analog sticks on the controllers. This, like, not to crush your dreams and play like my heel ass personality that I hear, I just don't think anyone gives a shit about this. Like, beyond the people that really care about Turbo, which is like, if you have the gaming community and then like 50% of those people care about retro games, like 15% of those retro gamers care about the Turbo.
Well, I think that's why they made it an Amazon exclusive with the pre-orders now as it comes out in 2020. So they'll get the pre-orders, they know how much to make, right, from now until then, and they can ship them out, and they don't have to overproduce or anything.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, it's going to be nice for people that want it. I don't.
It has 2 controller ports, which the original did not.
Oh, shit. They're already putting in more effort than Sony.
Oh, boy.
Colin, what are your thoughts?
For me personally, I saw the list of games, and the fact that it has Ys Book 1 and 2 on there is well, gratifying. Mm-hmm. But honestly...
That's not everything.
Much like Kevin.
Did you notice Cho and Nikki's on this thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like Kevin, I never really gave a crap about the TurboGrafx growing up. And even now, I mean, sure, there are some games like R-Type or Magical Chase or Ys 1 and 2 that catch my eye, but the rest, I don't really feel like I will go out of my way for them.
The Turbo is the hipster's retro console.
Aw, I like my PC Engine.
You hipster. I don't know. It's a cool idea. Why not? Everyone's making a mini. The other thing I hate about these, I wish there was some way to expand games. Like, even if they preloaded it with 26, and be like, hey, look, here's a little SD card with a new game on it. Like, yes, you can play them, emulate them, whatever. I get it. But, like, just to, expand it. Be like, hey, China Warrior's here, and everyone's going to go, ew, get that away from me.
All right.
Hopefully there's a way to mod it later on to allow fan English.
I feel like everyone but Nintendo is like kind of on the preloaded games. Oh man, this USB port back here. What's that?
That was the saving grace of the PlayStation Classic. Was you could just preload the whole library on there if you so please.
Yeah, everyone besides Nintendo's kind of like, what? This USB port? It's for your cell phone charger, obviously. Come on.
I was gonna say,
guys.
If there's a way to mod it later on to allow to upload fan English translations of the Japanese games, then that would really open up sales. I think
that would be nice. That would be nice. All right, Kevin.
Hey,
it's your turn for your topic.
Y'all like the Switch?
I love the Switch.
Y'all like it in portable mode?
I would like to
Yeah.
have one.
Y'all like it only in portable mode and never use the dock ever, negating all point of the Switch name?
Yep.
Because fuck it, that's what the Switch Lite's going to be. I was so excited for this thing when I saw it. I saw a brief. I thought it was fake because I saw like some super Asian picture with like a mocked up Switch Lite, and I was like, yeah, it's fake. People have been talking about this forever. But the Switch Lite is going to be a shrunken down, kind of looks Vita-sized Switch with a proper D-pad. And I was like, oh, that's so good. And then the Joy-Cons, like, there's no more Joy-Cons. It's just kind of a handheld thing. I was like, oh, it's fine, whatever. You could probably sync Joy-Cons to it still, whatever. And then I was like, yeah, that's a Switch I want. I want that thing to actually be portable. Oh, it's got a better battery life. Then I was like, no TV out. I was like, you fucking idiots, Nintendo. You're so close again. Every single home console of Nintendo has been objectively worse when they revised it. And I think this one sucks. Every home console sucks more than the original. NES, they made the top loader one. It only does RF out unless you live in Japan. Because fuck you. Super Nintendo, they got rid of the LED light to let you know the system was on. I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Okay, fine, Nintendo. And no eject button. Fuck you. N64, that system sucks anyway. GameCube got rid of the better picture out. The Wii Mini was why? Why did that thing exist? And then now the Switch Mini, like they made it worse. Now because you can't TV output it, like now it's just a fucking Game Boy, which is fine. But now Mario Party doesn't even work because you need Joy-Cons to play that. I don't think, can you sync Joy-Cons to it?
I'm sure you can.
I would hope they'd be smart enough to do that.
There's too many games in the Switch library that require the Joy-Cons to be part of the game.
How am I going to play 1-2 Switch, right? I know.
Well, of course. Very important.
Yeah. I don't know. I was all about this thing until I saw that it was no TV output. And that sucks. Because I mainly use my Switch on my TV. And I want, the whole point of the Switch name was like, take it out, take it not out, whatever. It's so fucking close to being good. They fucked it up. I hate it.
Well, there was a study that Nintendo put out of the percentage of people that use both the docked and portable, right? How many people only use it handheld, and how many people only use it docked. Most of the time, I'm just the docked person. But, like, when I went to North Carolina for work, or just travel in general, I take that thing with me, right? So I'm probably in the qualification of both, right?
But why take the option away from people?
Well, here's the thing. If you take only the percentage of people that only use it in docked mode, right? That's only about a 12% of the player base, apparently.
Okay, fine.
And this is only Japan, by the way. FYI.
Well, see, that's a big asterisk because Japan loves handheld stuff.
Well, so that's the thing. This, to me, is for that market. That's what they were thinking about first and foremost. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm okay with this. If you want a Switch, and I don't see Nintendo going to make another portable, then this is their answer.
Yeah, fine, but like, just why take the option away? And I get nobody's making me buy it, and I have the option to still buy a normal Switch. But like, you took the whole Switch name out of the Switch thing.
I'm more kind of wondering why the price point, because it's not that much cheaper than a regular Switch to begin with.
No, the dock is fucking $90 for plastic, so that's pretty much all you're saving.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I was trying to figure out, okay, if the dock's $90, right, and the hardware inside could not be worth X amount, right? So how much money are they saving hardware-wise by making it the smaller, more portable version and without the ability to be in docked mode? So I think it's overpriced. That's my biggest complaint.
170 sounds great.
I think 150 even. Make it half the price. It's half the system, right? It's half the console. And then they did come out with the revamped Switch with the better battery life, which I think we all kind of expected that to happen at one point or another.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for like a Switch Pro type deal where they also increase like the processing power or the memory bank, but I'll take like a couple extra hours on the battery any day.
So. Well, that's the thing. So like now you got a better normal Switch coming out. So now I really find this thing useless. You know that, right? Too, right?
What,
yeah.
The Switch Lite in general?
No, there's a normal Switch getting a revision, which has a better battery life.
Yeah.
So like now I really don't see the need for a Switch Lite.
Well, maybe in the Western market.
I think that addresses the rest of the market where if you don't want, let's say you don't have a Switch right now, and you're on the fence. Okay. Do I want only portable or do I want this docked one, right? And now they've revamped the original dock to be the better battery, so now you have a choice between the two.
I mean, it's going to be a Pokemon machine for it's really people who don't want to Switch but they want to play Pokemon. That's what this is. I get that.
In Fire Emblem, of course.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's because of Fire Emblem, right, guys?
Yes, I want to see the plot between my character and the waifus. Yeah, I want to see the plot development. Yeah. Fucking, I love Fire Emblem, but goddamn, people get weird.
Are you going to get the new Fire Emblem, Kevin?
Of course I am. Don't be silly.
It comes out in, like, what, 2 days?
I'm not getting it that soon.
Computer. When does Fire Emblem Three Houses release?
The fuck did you... What are you, living in a smart house?
Fire Emblem Three Houses, also called
Excuse
Fire
me?
Emblem Three Houses, will be released on July 26, 2019.
5 days.
Alright, you want to know the other thing that scares me about that? Is I played Fates, and that whole, like, 3 campaign thing... Fuck, man. Like, I don't know if I can do that again. Like,
well, now it's all in one game for your convenience.
No, I think there's still 3 campaigns.
No, but it's all in the same game. You don't have to buy 3 of them.
Well, no, I bought the 3-in-1 cartridge, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, fuck, when is this going to end? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm like 3 Fire Emblem games behind, because I was like, I've had enough for my lifetime, thank you.
They do take a while to beat. There's no doubt about that.
And they're so difficult. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it, Miyamoto.
I've got so many games in my backlog right now, and plus I'm trying to save my money for the next couple of years. I may not even buy any new games for the rest of the year, except for like the ones we discussed from E3, like Death Stranding and Doom Eternal. And maybe I'll ask for God of War and Spider-Man for Christmas.
God of War is like $10 now, isn't it?
No, it's $30, at least where I'm living.
Just wait, Colin. Just wait till Black Friday, and those games will be, like $15 at GameStop.
True enough, I thought God of War got the greatest hits treatment, so it's like super cheap now.
Yeah, like at most they should be $20 by November.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save my money regardless, but I'm still making major exceptions for Death Stranding and Doom Eternal.
Yeah, Doom Eternal's gonna be real good. When's that coming out?
November.
I want games. Yeah, if I buy anything now, I'm digitally downloading it, because as I discussed last cast, putting those things all in the binders, fuck, I ain't rearranging those.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of digital downloads too, and got a 4 terabyte extra hard drive for it all.
Yeah, I'm accepting the digital future for convenience's sake.
Now, if only I could actually knuckle down and play them.
Yeah, who plays their games? You're supposed to collect them, goddammit. Games aren't meant for playing. Keep them sealed. How dare you? Fucking hate sealed collectors sometimes.
Oh, boy. But I am considering playing my download of Party Hard.
What?
It's an indie game where you're this...
Party Hard.
You're this guy who has these asshole neighbors who are constantly throwing parties. So one day he snaps, and you just sneak into their house during the party and one by one kill all the guests.
Oh, cool. That's like not a problem at all.
It's pretty funny if you like dark humor.
Dear God.
And you
All right.
gotta do it in a way that nobody discovers the bodies, and then they don't call the cops.
All right. Colin, last topic.
Yes. Guess what, people? Once again, Bethesda has shit the bed.
Pretends to be shocked.
Oh no, what did they do now?
I think by this point, they've shit the bed so much that the mattress, all that's left of the mattress is Bethesda's shit.
Hold on, but can I get out the comment before every Bethesda defender right now? You don't understand. Their games are so expansive and open world. It's really, really hard to make an open world game like that. I don't see you making a game. There you go. Sorry. Oh, Todd Howard fucked me. Go on.
Yeah. I'm with you there, Kevin. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, patch number 11 has broken the game yet again. I'm basically getting all my information from Yang Ya's video on the subject.
Okay.
Who?
Yang Ya, he's a video game news YouTuber.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, there are many issues to go through, but I'll knock down the most understandable ones to us plebeians.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So, first, many items purchasable from the Atom Shop have reportedly become unusable, and
Really funny.
In particular, there's a greenhouse item that you can't put any crops inside of, which completely defeats the
10 out of
purpose
10.
of it.
Fucking great game.
And considering you can actually pay real money for this stuff, that's a big problem.
It's perfect. What are you talking about? This is the Bethesda experience you wanted.
You see, Colin, what you don't understand is as long as you make the fun for yourself, it's a good game.
Right, yes. That's why I paid $60 to play Pretend.
To play Pretend in the Pretend game.
I can't wait till they have the gall to start charging a yearly subscription for Fallout 76.
The thing is, you can't make your own fun if the building blocks of said fun don't work. It'd be like having a
Sure you can.
It'd be like having a bunch of Lego bricks that someone crushed or snapped in half.
Colin, let me ask you something. Why are you as a gamer so goddamn entitled to make your game work? How fucking dare you? You goddamn
Because I
entitled
paid
consumer.
money for it.
How fucking dare you expect a quality product?
Yeah,
entitled piece of
all you
shit.
have to do is wait a year after it comes out, and it'll be fine.
You goddamn... The
game is good now.
Entitled prick. This is why people hate gamers. You understand this? Ugh, I want my game to work when it comes out. What the fuck?
Oh, man.
That's how I feel every time somebody says gamers are entitled. I'm like, yeah, I spent money. Fuck me for wanting it to work.
Because I feel like a lot of the people who
Let's go buy patio furniture, and there's no nails in any of the patio.
Yeah.
Any of the
You
furniture.
fucking entitled carpenter.
Because I feel like some of the people who say shit like that are just trying to get a rise out of people for clicks.
No, I think they suck the teat of Bethesda. For some reason, like Bethesda and Nintendo just get this like, oh, fuck us harder. Oh, yes. Oh, the game doesn't work. That's okay. You work so hard on it. I understand. Making games is hard. Like, fuck you. No, make the game work.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like it's very. I always attribute it to kind of what I complain about in a lot of modern games, especially because everything's got to be an open world, and if there's no fast travel, all you're doing is wasting my time.
Yeah.
And if you go, oh, but there is fast travel. Forza Horizon 4 is like the best example I can think of in recent memory. There's no fast travel, but you have to drive around the world aimlessly, knocking down billboards that you just have to find, and until you knock down every single one, there's no fast travel.
That is fun. What are you talking about, you entitled piece of shit?
So,
Anyway, more issues. The legendary
there's more.
The legendary drops are practically non-existent now. Even when you kill legendary enemies, no legendary drops to be found. Unless you're in a party, in which case only your leader will receive any legendary items. And on top of that,
So make me your leader then.
on top,
Obviously, that's the simple solution.
On top of that, the spawn rate of legendary enemies has dropped. And then
Awesome.
apparently initial damage from certain weapons doesn't register with NPCs. And there are several power armor issues reported, but the most egregious ones are A, that the game will occasionally freeze or crash when you enter your power armor.
Fucking cool.
That's a great one.
And B, some armor pieces, or the whole set, will disappear completely when you log out of the game, which if you bought it with real money is a major problem. Because once it disappears, it's gone.
I think you're making Kevin very happy.
I just
don't
understand why you feel so entitled. That's all.
Do you remember when E3 last year, everybody was excited for this game? They're like, oh, it looks so beautiful. Oh my god, we're going to be able to do this and that. And here, I believe we were very skeptical from the start. I believe.
Yep.
I believe all three of us were. And then when it came out and the reviews started coming out, even like certain news sites were just going, well, yeah, it's a fun game. It has its flaws, and being the overly optimistic. Whatever happened to just saying the game's shit and it's unacceptable?
Because now we've had so many games and services come out and been like, look, they're going to get better over time. I don't give a shit. I bought it now. I don't want it to be better over time. I want it to be good now.
Yeah.
The Anthem effect?
Yeah, but, if you give it a month or two... No, fuck you. I want it now. I want it to be good now. I don't buy it and be like, all right, you sit there on that shelf until I'm ready to play you. Actually, that's what I do with a lot of games. Hold on. Shit. They got me.
Yeah. In any case, another issue is switching weapons will sometimes cause the game to freeze or lag.
God damn it.
So, let me get this straight. In a game that involves shooting enemies with guns, if you switch a gun, it will freeze the game.
Yep.
No, you fucking entitled piece of shit. Play Melee. God, that's why we also made a Melee function. Don't fucking keep calling us out for our flaws, you entitled gamer. Fuck.
I mean, Colin, we played the Conduit on Wii. We had a great time. You got a little motion sick by doing it, because, the Wii stuff. But...
Well, that was because I was drunk, I think.
Oh, that would also do it.
The alcohol definitely enhances the disorientation.
So, the Conduit is clearly better than a AAA made title in 2019.
Apparently
Some would say better than Halo.
Some would say better than Halo. Kevin, you were right about that.
Oh boy.
It was on the box.
Well, anyway, opening the social tab, which I think is the function that allows you to chat with others, will sometimes crash the game.
Perfect. In an MMO? What?
Yeah, really.
Okay. Good. Keep going.
And then an older bug has come back from a previous patch fix.
Awesome.
That's very classic Bethesda.
If you damage
They seem to do that every time.
If you damage NPCs with certain kinds of weapons, you see a small amount of damage on its health, like way less than it should be, and then it'll suddenly shoot right back up to full health. So basically, with those weapons, you can't kill anything.
Excellent. I love this.
And then,
I'm actually very happy this game is bombing the way it is.
Yeah,
let me
too.
explain. So, Bethesda, for many, 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 many years, has made games to an unacceptable broken level, right? At least in my eyes. Yes, there has been a saving grace of a large, intricate story and the blah-de-blah. Now they've gotten to the point where instead of improving, they tried to cash grab, and they've royally screwed themselves out of greed.
Yep.
It's almost poetic, and we're seeing the same thing with EA and Anthem right now on their end. I love it, because either you learn the lesson and fucking don't do that again, or you do it and you'll slowly go out of business.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Unfortunately, EA, I think, is just too big to be permanently crutched, or at least anytime soon. Because if a company put out a shit title and rushed back in the day, odds are people wouldn't buy those games anymore. Or at least the more technology advanced, that you saw a lot of these developers that just people would just stop buying their titles, or the publisher would drop them and find someone else.
Yeah, but these developers don't make FIFA, which prints money.
This is true facts.
Yeah,
This is true facts. That's why I'm saying I'm not totally worried with EA. Although they are losing, I think, a big major player base.
Sorry, you hate surprise mechanics. Okay.
Well, hopefully. Well,
I had a surprise mechanic this morning. Weird dreams, let me tell you.
I think it's just a matter of time before surprise mechanics get officially outlawed across the globe.
I don't know, man.
I just don't know how long it's going to take. But
Okay. Speaking of surprise mechanic, Kevin, you're familiar with the Splatoon.
Colin had a thing to say, you jerk.
No. This is
Fallout.
This is very important.
Okay.
Kevin, Colin, okay. You do this too. Go to my Twitter. I just liked and retweeted an additive in Splatoon that just happened.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah. Making fun of Splatoon is great.
It's quite fun.
All right.
Does Salmon Run still suck, by the way?
It's fun, but it's limited time based still. So
when Papa Nintendo allows you to play it, got it.
Yeah.
White ink is oh no.
Oh no.
Check out those surprise mechanics.
Why did they put white ink in Splatoon? Okay, that exists.
Oh my god.
Nobody thought about that one, eh?
Dude, that is the best.
I can't believe it.
So, for those wondering what we're reacting to, on my Twitter, @BullyingJD, Redleaf Retrocast, a friend of mine, Bicky TMD, he just got Splatoon 2 not too long ago, and he's been really into it. And apparently, Splatoon 2 came out with white ink to spray around the world, and it looks it just looks like you're splooging everywhere. That is my surprise mechanic of the day.
I cannot believe nobody put 2 and 2 together on that.
Well, in Japan it's all pixelated. They couldn't tell, you know?
Oh my god. Oh no.
Alright.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Best mechanic.
I might be. I might be chuckling about that for the rest of the cast, but I'll do my best to continue. In any case,
I hope somebody on the really bad Nintendo voice chat is just going, "Oh!" the whole time they're playing.
Oh no.
Oh, fried calamari. Oh.
Jeez.
Somebody's making a weird fanfic with the what is it? Callie and Marie right now.
No doubt. No doubt.
That fanfic already happened before the white ink, but now. Oh boy. All right, moving on.
Okay, so more.
I saw things today.
We all did. In any case, more Fallout bugs. Sometimes just entering certain areas will cause instant death.
There's more Fallout bugs? I thought you were done.
There's like... I got 2 more after this one I just mentioned.
Jeez.
And these are only...
Go through them quick.
These are only the ones...
We got a theme to talk about.
These are only some of them, like half of them. But anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. The, quote, major power armor update that Bethesda hyped up for a few months just turned out to be some minor changes. Just like to the HUD and the UI. Just wasn't substantial. And then... Well, I don't know if this is really a bug, but if you get legendary armor, the power armor basically becomes useless. But yeah, that's fairly minor. then. And keep in mind, all of the above issues I just mentioned and more were discovered within hours of implementation, which implies that the update wasn't even play tested on Bethesda's end.
Great.
That's just unacceptable.
Their features, goddammit.
And then on top of that, Bethesda had promised no non-cosmetic microtransactions before release. Yet, there are still repair kits, among other things, available in the Atom Shop, and just recently they've added scrap kits, which basically allow you to disassemble a lot of, or basically everything in your inventory into their components and then instantly send them back to your stash, just so that you don't end up having to travel a long way to go back to your stash and put that stuff in. And then they claim it's for convenience, but if you have to charge your players money in order for the game to be less tedious, then I think that says a lot about your development priorities. None of it good. And the convenience should already be in the game. I mean, it's been barely 2/3 of a year since launch, and Bethesda still finds new ways to fuck everything up in and around the game. It's just, when are you going to learn, Bethesda? You can't do live services. Granted, they shouldn't even exist without being free to play, but Bethesda especially just keeps shit in the bed.
Do you think they could even make this game free to play at this point?
I doubt it.
They should really just give up on it, but I something tells me they're still making money hand over fist with this game.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if they are.
So, all right, enough Bethesda. I kind of want to go and play Splatoon White Ink stuff for a little bit, but we'll just move on to our theme.
I played that last night.
I should have had a James Bond theme, but that would definitely get me flagged. So
They're different.
Oh no, we're flagged because we're too good at making that sound. I'll just play the Mario Kart music. Are you new to anime? Do you have hard-hitting questions? Well, what do you think happens when you mix war and anime together?
He is funny, right? Because he is just fucking, like, he is the guy that you wonder how he managed to get into the military. Because, I mean, you don't know anything about him, really.
Don't ask, don't tell, Tori. Duh.
Yep. He just kind of walks up to people and slaps them on the ass and then go, hey.
Hey, good game. Good war, right?
Shouldn't you do something and go out there and risk my life? Nah.
You expect me to fight this war and slap someone's ass? I don't think so.
I'll take care of everyone when they come back. Real good. Yeah, nah.
Well, I guess you can find humor just about anywhere. You are listening to the Red Leaf Retrocast, found on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the podcast is located on all your favorite outlets, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. And now, back to the show. Yay!
Awesome.
All right, Kevin, take us away on this thing.
Video games. Did I do it?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, I did it. That was my intro. Fuck you.
Okay.
All right. So we played a bunch of shit. Fuck all y'all. We played a bunch of James Bond and James Bond-like games for this bi-weekly podcast. And I'm going to start us off with 007, Agent Under Fire, for the best system in the world, the PS2, the Xbox, and why the fuck would you play this on GameCube? Except I did because that was the only one I had.
Same.
Anyway, that was fine. It was released in November of 2001 on the PS2 and later ported in March to the others. I can't read your writing. Oh, in 02. There we go. It's a completely original story based on James Bond.
Typed text.
It's fucking far away from where I'm sitting. I got eye problems. It's an original story.
I do want to interrupt you.
I'm on it. No. Go ahead.
So, for each of these games, I tried to play them all on a different system.
Why?
So, for this one, I played the Xbox version.
Okay.
Just to like see if it was like truly different, or because I don't know. It just felt like something I wanted to do for this one, because all these James Bond games came out on all the major consoles of the time.
Yeah, especially one of them.
Yes.
Yes, we'll get there. It's an original story, which I liked around this time, that they were experimenting with the James Bond license instead of just making movie-based games to tie them in. Which I think this was like the first one of the group, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, Nightfire came later. Actually, I think I was waiting when I was little for like an Agent Under Fire movie that never happened. But this game has a lot of tech in it. You have all your bondings. You have a smartphone that does your laser, grappling hooks, a transmitter, and phone. You know? And the campaign's fine. It's a fairly standard Bond first-person shooter, but I really had more fun playing this game. I actually never beat the campaign. I played more multiplayer than anything, which this brought me back to like GoldenEye vibes of 4-player split screen and just killing the fuck out of each other. It was really, really good. There were a lot of gameplay varieties. In the campaign, though, you have your basic first-person shooters. You got some rail shooter segments, driving sequences. N64 can't do that, bitch! But, yeah, the guns are kind of all over the place, though. I'll say, not the best weapons in this game. They're kind of inaccurate. I felt like enemies were kind of bullet spongy. I don't know if that was... You guys felt that?
I didn't feel they were bullet spongy. I just thought the bullets were missing all the time.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
So, I don't know. Overall, this game's pretty good. Is it amazing? No, but it's a pretty good first-person shooter.
Yeah, I mean...
So, what'd you guys think?
I actually did play this way back when... around when I first got my GameCube. I mean, I rented it from Blockbuster, and me and my brother had a good time with it. I remember at the time, the grappling hook mechanic was pretty novel for me. I mean, sure, I'd already seen it in Zelda Ocarina of Time, but seeing it in an actual FPS was kind of cool to me. Although, even back then, it seemed kind of unrealistic that he was just holding on to the phone the whole time, no wrist strap for the grappling.
I have a wrist strap.
Because in real life, it would just fly right out of your hand, but whatever.
No, it's James Bond. He's got a death grip on that thing.
He's also probably got a huge dick because all the ladies he bangs.
Well, that's very obvious. I think that goes without saying.
The phone won't go flying.
Well,
So all these games at the time were based off the Pierce Brosnan James Bond character.
Best Bond, 10 out of 10.
mm-hmm.
So, I almost wish they would make a James Bond game where it's kind of reminiscent of all the past James Bond movies.
Man, did they do that, and it was not great. Have you never heard of 007 Legends?
I have not.
Nope.
Okay, so side story. 007 Legends came out on the 360, PS3, and the greatest system for first-person shooters ever, the Wii U. Yeah, that happened.
Okay.
Actually, it's kind of fun. It's fun on Wii U. You actually get to pick your gadgets on the tablet, doing more than Nintendo did. But anyway, so what 007 Legends was you play as Daniel Craig, right?
Okay.
But Daniel Craig in every single, not every single Bond movie, but all the, hit Bond movies. Sounds fun, right?
Uh-huh.
Except they just, one mission is, the climax of From Russia with Love. And then the next mission is, the climax of GoldenEye. And
so it's for, hardcore James Bond fans.
Yeah, it's, in the middle of these movies, and you're like, what the fuck is the plot? And, 1 minute you're with, with one girl, and the next mission you're like, who the fuck are you? Where are we? You have to kind of figure out what movie you're in. It was really sloppily put together.
Ah! Oh no!
But
cat's attacking me!
Bad
got
kitty.
my headphones.
Haha, stupid cat. So as a side note, if you play 007 Legends, pretty okay first-person shooter, but trying to follow what the fuck is going on, just don't. Just know you're playing the high action point of every one of these movies, and they're just one after the other, no connection.
Well, I was thinking of some sort of large expansion mode where you could go back and be Roger Moore or Sean Connery and play out original stories with those James Bond guys.
Well, not original stories, but at least they went back to Sean Connery for when we get to Colin.
So, when I was playing Agent Under Fire, I really enjoyed the original story aspect to it. I was not expecting that. Even though I knew this wasn't based on a James Bond movie, I thought they would kind of set it up for such or some other nonsense. Because I was thinking the same thing. It's like, wow, I'm surprised they didn't make a James Bond movie out of this game, kind of situation. I like the rail shooter sequences where you're like in a car and you go out the roof and you're just shooting like helicopters and the like. I thought the driving sequences were better than Spy Hunter from the last cast.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, they were just more simplistic. You knew exactly what you're doing. You didn't have to get jacked around the whole time. It wasn't very picky. It was just, I want to be in a car and shoot my missiles kind of situation. I liked it.
Yeah.
And now, when it was down to the regular James Bond sequences where it's just first-person shooter in a building, it just felt like I was mowing down enemies inaccurately in hallways. So that was kind of bland. I wasn't really into that. I was more looking forward to all the cutscenes. The opening like sequence area where you're trying to save the girl from a submarine, and there's just exploding barrels everywhere.
As normal.
I don't know why, but I had such a difficult section with that because I would just, if I exploded one barrel, it would cause a chain reaction to explode the rest. So I'm like, okay, maybe I don't need to do that. And then I'd run, and then the enemies would hit the exploding barrel next to me, and I would die. So I had such a problem with that section. As it turns out, you just have to run really fast up to the enemy right next to him and blow him away.
Yeah.
And hopefully you don't lose enough health. So it was kind of...
Okay, good.
Yeah, it wasn't a spray and pray situation, but it was a pray and not spray situation.
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's not the best Bond game in the world, but for, like, the time, I had a good time, you know?
Well, here's the saving grace for me. It's $4.
Yeah, it's
You can
cheap.
find this cheaper sometimes, like I did, for 75 cents.
Ooh.
And
Where?
even for $4, I'm thinking to myself, this isn't bad. I think it's worth the price of entry if you're a James Bond fan. You want an original story. The Xbox version I played was totally fine. I didn't have any issues with it. Yeah. I'll pass it. I just wish there was... I don't know. It definitely felt like there was missing something. It was very milquetoast about a lot of things.
I feel like the bulk of this game you're going to get in the multiplayer, because it has a lot of fun, like, weird cheats and mods that GoldenEye does.
Sure.
So you'll get it just for that if you play with friends. But man, you know what I realized? Nobody picked GoldenEye Rogue Agent. I kind of want to see what that's all about.
Well, no one picked another game, which I'll mention at the end of the cast. But anyways.
Yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, I'll pass Agent Under Fire.
Yeah, I give it a pass.
Hell yeah. I win.
I'll be honest, I didn't actually play any of these because I didn't have
Fucking
time.
Colin!
I just watched YouTube videos.
Ah, you suck.
You spoo.
Excuse me for having a life.
So do I. I barely
Your life
got
is
to
the
touch most of
podcast,
these.
Colin. Get over yourself.
I forgot how
You need
to
to devote your life and all your free time to me and our tens of listeners.
I would love to see you try and
Yeah.
make me.
I'll just have to come to Canada and kick your ass.
Good luck.
And feed you all that poutine you're not eating.
I'm not in the same place I lived before, so good luck finding me.
Hat nerd. You live in Canada.
Canada's not that big. I'll find you, no problem.
Yeah, it's only the second biggest country in the world.
Blah, blah,
But
blah,
not
blah,
an
blah.
ego. USA. USA.
All right, Kevin. What's your next game?
Hey. No, JD. What is my next game?
Oh, you want me to say?
Oh, I want you to speak. I want you to speak the praises of the best game on the list.
Okay. So, when we were picking games for this little theme here, Kevin made it very clear that we had to play James Bond 007 Nightfire not on the consoles, but on the Game Boy Advance version.
Mind you, the Game Boy Advance version is double the average price, meaning its quality.
So, as Kevin himself has just stated, it did come out on the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. It usually goes for about $5. However, the Game Boy Advance version goes for about $10. So I was
superior
very
version.
skeptical to not get this game on the Game Boy Advance. I already have it on the GameCube.
Okay.
So I had to boot up a nice little emulator Throw in
Oh, that's even worse. Oh boy.
it on my PC and see what this game developed by Eurocom. The people that made the mediocre to bad Spyro and Crash games after,
Perfect.
Insomniac and Naughty Dog didn't make them anymore. Published by EA, so you know it's quality. Released November 2002, later for the Game Boy Advance in March 2003. So it had plenty of time to, get ported to the portable section. Anyways, this is the fifth Bond game after the N64 GoldenEye hit. Give you a nice little timeline.
The anticipation, JD.
Okay, so Colin,
Yes.
do you remember when we played a Wolfenstein on the Super Nintendo?
We did not.
Okay. Kevin, do you remember when we played Wolfenstein on the Super Nintendo?
The best way to play Wolfenstein.
Okay. So, that game came out in 1990 whatever, right? Early.
Right.
Okay. The Game Boy Advance, is supposed to be a system where it's basically the portable Super Nintendo, right? Am I wrong in saying this?
Yes. No, you got the idea.
You get the idea, right? So, we just talked about Agent Under Fire, and I played this game second. And what you get in the Game Boy Advance version is not a nice polished material. It is a load of horseshit.
They tried so hard to make this game work. It's great.
Nothing about this game works the way you want it to.
Listen, you entitled piece of shit gamer, they tried porting it, okay? How fucking dare you?
But it's not a port. It is clearly like a game specifically developed to be on the Game Boy Advance.
Which makes it even more
and I could be mistaken, but I think the Game Boy Advance version was even developed by a different company.
Yeah, I think so.
James Bond, Nightfire, GBA. Okay. I'm going to double check my facts right here. Should have written it down, although I was in such a fury. Yes, it's by JV Games.
Yes, I know them. The junior varsity of game development. Great. The best. This is so good.
They have made a number of titles, including James Bond, Nightfire for the Game Boy Advance, as well as Pong Toss frat party games.
Yes. And
incoming for WiiWare. So just a solid 3-game library from this company.
That's literally all they've made.
That's all they've made.
What do they do between Nightfire and the Pong Toss game? That's it?
That's it.
They just kind of hung out and said, "Yep."
That is all the Wikipedia says. So JV Games tried, I use the word tried very loosely because it seems like they didn't try. It looks like they took the Wolfenstein engine from the Super Nintendo and just tried to see how that would work on the Game Boy Advance. It doesn't work.
This game runs at how many frames a second would you say?
I would say on a good day it runs 10.
And you know what the thing is? I played this on original hardware. It was weird. The longer you played it, the smoother the frame rate got. If you were
well, clearly you have to warm up the batteries, Kevin.
Well, yeah, obviously. And then as you would start walking, it would be okay, this game's actually running at 20 frames. Okay, we're getting there. And then the second the 3 pixels that would make out an enemy would be on screen, it'd be nah, hold up, we gotta start all over, fam.
So what ends up happening is you're forced, the controls are very archaic, even for 2002 and 3 standards. And I'm not giving it a pass just because it's on a portable system, because I've played, whether it's first-person or third-person shooters with limited controls, such as Code. It was Code Vectrix on the PSP.
Oh, mind you, this is a first-person shooter in Game Boy Advance. We kind of implied that, but this is a full polygonal first-person shooter.
Right. So instead of utilizing what the old PlayStation and whatnot games, using the trigger buttons to go left and right, turn your character, instead, they use those buttons for just the random items and everything, so they clog it up with controls that you don't need. Because other Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games, you would press pause, and that would take you to a menu. It's it takes a little bit, but it's not clogging up the control scheme. It's not limiting it. So you're forced to go in a straight line and strafe instead.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no control of where you're shooting other than just what's right directly in front of you. And as Kevin said, you get maybe a pixel or two of notification, if you can see it, by the way, which I could never do. That's where an enemy is. So, in my case, anytime I would go forward or strafe left and right, an enemy would just teleport right in front of me. That's what it would seem. So I'd lose a lot of health.
Also, there's no hit indicator. Your health just kind of goes down.
So that's the other thing. You have the accuracy of fucking nothing, so you're just spraying and praying, and hopefully you hit something. And the enemies are just as accurate, right?
Right.
So you're basically on top of everything, and just like Wolfenstein on the Super Nintendo, all the enemies are like cardboard cutouts. So whatever. Mm-hmm. The level design is super confusing, even more so than Wolfenstein. Everything looks like fucked up Legos in the game with those cardboard cutouts, so nothing looks good. So yeah, anything... Here, this is what I wrote in my notes. Cardboard cutout enemies that hit you as good as stormtroopers from Star Wars. Oh, and you were just as good.
Also, there's no bullet trail, so you don't even know where you're shooting. Literally, but the gun flash comes out of the gun, if you want to even call it that. Like the JPEG of a boom comes out at the end of the gun, and it's just maybe an enemy falls over, maybe not.
Exactly like Wolfenstein in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least Wolfenstein, you knew okay, the gun is kind of lined up, and you get some auto aim, but Wolfenstein, you can actually see what's happening. Because now, Colin, I'm not trying to call you out here, but have you played this or no? You were busy all week.
Nah,
okay.
I didn't.
Do me a favor, please pull up a YouTube video.
I did watch YouTube videos of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen what this is.
Yep.
This is the greatest first-person shooter of all time, beyond the Conduit.
I take it this is revenge for all the 3DO games and Kingdom Hearts in the past.
Absolutely, it is.
If so, well played.
You're welcome.
This was a hard experience. I have never played anything. You know what this game reminded me of? If you would have walked up on the street to me and say, "Hey, play this game. It's called Nightfire on the GBA." I'm like, on the GBA? If you would have told me it was on... What was that phone console?
N-Gage.
If you would have told me this was on the N-Gage, I would have believed you.
Don't say
Sounds
something so
right.
mean about the N-Gage. The N-Gage deserves better than this.
Yeah, this is an egregious... This is one of the most egregious ports I've ever come across. And I wouldn't even actually... Like I said, I wouldn't even call this a port, because it was developed by different people. It's in a completely different spectrum of what Nightfire on the consoles even were. So, can I talk about Nightfire as the good game now?
That's not what I fucking asked you to play.
I did play the GBA one.
That's not part of the podcast, G.
Well, the game not on the GBA is fun as hell. It just has kind of the archaic control scheme, like what we went through with Medal of Honor on the PlayStation. Single analog stick. Everything's super upscaled, improved from Agent Under Fire for the better. I didn't get to play the multiplayer in any of these, so I don't know what that's like.
I didn't do Nightfire's multiplayer.
But I had a lot of fun with Nightfire. Everything was smoothed out. The story was much more interesting. The girls were more interesting, you might say. They had better assets to their characters.
Yes, good art assets.
Yeah, I think I remember actually playing this back in the day, and there was one moment in the game where this lady's just laying on the massage table face down, and then you can actually go up and massage her. It's like, oh, you
sexual assault the game, my favorite.
Oh, you've learned some new tricks, haven't you? And then you actually get like a little 007 award for that, because that's one of the funny aspects about Nightfire and Agent Under Fire. You do stuff that's very James Bond-y. You get bonus points. Like if you launch off a ramp over a missile, you 007 award.
Right.
Hit on the ladies, 007 award.
Hardest achievement. How did you talk to girls?
So, Nightfire on the GBA is
Pass. Got it.
one of the worst games I've played on this podcast to date. It's not the worst, but it did make me rage. I tried beating some levels just running from point A to point B. And that was easier than trying to actually play the game.
I've never, ever, ever beaten the first level in this game. And I had it as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
And I knew it was bad then, but I was like, I was so committed. I think I got to, no, there's one level actually. I'm sorry, I did beat the first level. Because the next one, I think immediately after, you have to sneak around a building and not be seen. So imagine doing this game in stealth, and if you're seen, guess what? Game over.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's very ruthless.
And you can't even tell what's an enemy. You just hear the bad sample clip of, and then you're fucking dead. Oh my god. And I think like it fades out really, really slow just to rub it in.
Yeah, the blood falls from the sky, lagging.
Blood. It was a straight red, slightly like translucent color that fades down.
All right, paint.
No, it's not.
Paint mixed with too much primer.
It was like LaCroix.
Oh.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. LaCroix sucks.
LaCroix is a drink that California people live off of rather than water.
It's like if you took water and dropped one Skittle in it and let the flavor dilute, and they're like, "Yep, that is flavored water."
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
I give
Kevin.
it a fail.
So, yeah, it fails. Kudos on the very specific pick. I will say
You're
that.
welcome.
Made for quite the comments. All right, so I wanted to do a parody game of James Bond. I do like parody games, so I went with a game I've never played before, rather than the one I think we would have had more fun with. So I've been very curious about this. Anytime I go to a retro store, there's always copies lying around. There's a cult following behind this, so I finally cracked down. I'm like, this is a perfect time to play this. James Pond on the Sega Genesis. It also came out on the various consoles that came out in the UK, like the Amiga and the like. Game goes for about $8. Developed by Millennium Interactive, aka Gorilla Cambridge, the people that made the Medieval game.
Oh.
Published by EA, of course, because EA had the license. Even back then, for a lot of these things, once the N64 came into play, that's when EA took over, I think, the complete license to the James Bond property.
Well, no, they didn't do GoldenEye. Rare had that, but after that game,
That's what I'm saying. After that game, they had the EA license completely. Right? Anyways, released in 1990. So, guys, this game's pretty bad.
Yeah.
yeah, come on, it's okay.
It's okay for a while, but then it gets pretty boring. And
Yeah,
just
it's not something
tedious.
I've really played.
So it's a platformer with only the water levels and fetch quests.
Hell yeah.
You know,
My
the two
favorite.
things we salivate over in all our games.
Huh.
Stop, my pants can only hold so much of my enormous erection.
Oh, jeez.
So, Colin, what did you think of James Pond?
It was just, like I said, just okay for a while. It's just one big parody, just full of puns, parodying James Bond. I mean, the villain's name is Dr. Maybe, which is a reference to Dr. No.
I like the indecisiveness.
And it even...
James Bond! Do I want to kill you? Maybe.
Do you expect me to what did he say? Do you expect me to talk?
Maybe.
No, Mr. Pond. I expect you to just, let me hear your ideas.
I expect you to maybe die.
I expect you to debate me on why I shouldn't kill you. Throw a pitch at me. Dr. Agnostic, that's what we should call him.
Ha.
That's my Bond villain parody now. Trademark.
Well, in any case, the game even parodies the MGM logo when you boot it up.
Yep.
Just have the face of James Pond himself doing the roaring lion thing. Which is kind of funny.
Perfect. That's what fish do.
It's essentially Austin Powers for kids before Austin Powers even existed.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about Austin Powers.
I suppose.
In a vague
Problem
sense.
is the game is just... It really is just middle of the road, isn't it?
See, I didn't even see it much like that. I felt that this was just a whole game like the title. It's a James Bond quip or pun, and that's it. I found the controls very floaty, like you're in water, but it doesn't work, which I found very strange. Because instead of... You know how in Mario, where you have to tap the button to maintain your ascension and the descension and whatever... in this, it just feels like you're on a straight vector, right? You just go, boom. It's too fast. It doesn't seem like there's any obstacles to go. You're too fast, kind of deal. It takes a lot of the difficulty out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta go fast.
Gesundheit.
That was a bird.
That was a hiccup.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Either or.
Nerds.
It does have the bubble, spit bubble attack at the very least, which I'm a big fan of. But why exactly? I never knew because you get points when you run into the enemies and kill them.
The points literally do nothing, though.
But why? That's what I found. If I'm asking why the whole time while I'm playing this game, there's a problem.
Uh-huh.
They made a lot of these. That's the worst part. Like, it's not just like there's one James Pond there. Like, all right, yeah, good parody, guys.
Yeah.
They kept going.
Yeah,
like I was saying before, I played
out.
RoboCod, which was the second one, which I only imagine they ported the first one to DS as well. But then there's Super James Pond on Super Nintendo. I think there's 3 of them on Genesis alone.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, like, they just kept going, and I was like, I could understand if this was a one-off, like, okay, we did it, haha, James Bond is popular. All right, let's go make something cool, guys. No, we need more. This is great. We need to go deep. We need to go deeper.
Deeper, harder, faster.
Stronger.
Come on, James Pond.
Fishier.
Fisher. No.
It's...
What else did you think, Kevin?
I mean, overall, like, I got like a level or 2 in that's already pretty, like, salty fish from playing Operation RoboCod or whatever it was called. But, like, the first level, I was like, okay, I get it. This is neat. It's a fun little, like, they got one idea down, but I don't know. I really got to the second mission, I was just like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Like,
Yeah, because you're just fetch questing again.
yeah, it's all it was. And I was like, is there any... It really, like, there was no, like, Bond development beyond, like you said, the title, and then I was like, that's it. Like, it'd be cool if I was a fish that had, like, a little silenced pistol for reasons.
Right?
Yeah.
But, like, no.
Or some sense of direction on the levels of where you need to go.
If there was a sexy ladyfish that I was trying to seduce, like, maybe. But, you know, Genesis.
Sure.
So the point is, there's going to be a James Pond Kickstarter. I'm calling it in the next 2 years. And they're going to try to revive it. Calling it.
Maybe they could actually make it decent in today's games.
Don't be
but...
fucking stupid. Of course they won't. Yeah, I don't know. It's not good. It's more of a curiosity. I want to try Super James Pond, and maybe the Super Nintendo one's better.
See,
Probably not.
I went into the game kind of hoping for a 2D version of, like, Gex, Enter the Gecko kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Oh fuck, that would have been a cool. Shit, there's so many good games you could have played.
So
Why did we do
I could
this?
have picked Gex on the 3DO, you know.
No, you could have played Enter the Gecko on Game Boy.
But I did not get my funny little parody fish James Bond game. I got a very bland, pun-filled, water-level platformer.
You could say it wasn't very finny.
Yeah, I failed this pretty easy.
Yeah, this is... It's a to me, it's a soft fail because it's not necessarily bad. It's just like, I could live without playing it, though. You know?
I found it pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing offensive about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I'm of the same opinion as Kevin. It's just I have to fail it. It's just not my bag. I mean, it's playable, but that's all it's got going for it.
There's worse Genesis games.
Well, I mean, that's true.
Yeah, so it's no Shaq Fu.
All right, it's no Shaq.
Huh.
You're right. It is not that.
That should be on a review site. Well, it's not Shaq Fu.
Okay, Colin.
Yeah.
What's our fourth and last game?
Yeah. Fourth and last game is 007 Everything or Nothing on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, and apparently also the Game Boy Advance version.
Which came out first this time.
We should have played that one!
It was ported to the console, so the other way around to Nightfire.
Ew. Oh, great. A 2D first-person shooter on my console. Awesome.
It was developed by... Well, the console version was developed by EA Redwood Shores, who I think also did Agent Under Fire.
Correct.
Yes. And Kryptonite Games did the Game Boy Advance version. And then both were published by EA. And it was released in North America and the EU on the Game Boy Advance in late 2003, and then that is November 2003, and then was later ported to the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox in early 2004, February specifically. Now, the plot's fairly typical, simple James Bond fare. A nanobot weapon has been stolen by a terrorist organization with ties to Russia, and James Bond must get it back before it can be used to unleash chaos upon the free world.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we haven't really talked about in the two previous games. If you've seen a James Bond movie, the plot's all the same.
Yeah.
Over charismatic villain wants to destroy the world or take it over in some way. So there you go.
Yeah, with some specific kind of super weapon.
Right.
Although sometimes it's just a nuke, like in one of the Roger Moore movies. I can't quite remember which one. But in any case...
Why do villains always want to blow up the world? Where are they going to live?
Good question.
Well, they're madmen, so who cares?
Yeah, good point.
In any case, I kind of like that this game has all of the mainstay actors of the time voicing their respective roles. I mean, you got Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, John Cleese as Q, Judi Dench as M, and you even see a couple of other big-name actors and actresses, like Willem Dafoe as the main villain, and Heidi Klum.
This is when EA started going a little nuts with their advertisement,
We have money!
guess. Yeah, we have money, we're going to overproduce something. This is the most expensive game on the list, too, at $17, by the way.
Ah, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Well, yeah, from what I saw of this game, it looks pretty fun. I mean, it's got really good graphics for the time. Everything looks great, and they really nailed Pierce Brosnan's likeness for as much as they could with the PS2 hardware. Or the hardware of the time, I should say.
Yeah, this was the one I played on the PS2.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I didn't play it, I don't know exactly how the cover system controls firsthand.
Ah.
But you say it's pretty clunky, so...
It is very clunky. So there's, this is a third-person game, as opposed to the ones before it being first-person shooters. So I thought that was a good direction to take the game. So when you have a third-person game, and it's mostly involving shooting, you need to have good cover mechanics. And the game, I remember kind of innovating a lot of that, was Was it Kill Switch?
No, Win Back.
Well, that too.
Well, Kill Switch did it too,
Yeah. Yeah, Win Back and Kill Switch, so I'm like, okay. And now that I say that, game Win Back. When did Win Back come out? Win Back came out in 1999. Okay. And Kill Switch, which took that same mechanic and really just crushed it, came out in 2003. Okay? So, this game came out in 2004. So, let's take our minds and say, all right, they were in development at the same time pretty much, and Kill Switch just kind of beat it to the punch, right? There's still Win Back that came out in 2009 or 1999, where they could look at this cover mechanic and improve upon it, right? Well, Everything or Nothing didn't do that. You just kind of crouch behind everything and awkwardly kind of stand up and down. It just doesn't work very well. So you're just kind of hoping you're not getting hit from certain angles. Think of the new Wolfenstein game that came out where there's enemies shooting at you from all directions, but there's no cover. It's kind of like that. It feels very cheap. And the shooting mechanics that go along with it, there's no way, since you're not totally behind cover, you don't just have the free arm shooting mechanics. It's all still the auto lock from Agent Under Fire. So they haven't improved in 2-3 games, right? They didn't improve any of the controls at all. So I thought that was pretty unacceptable. The game really does ramp up the explosion in the cutscenes and the car scenes and the like, which, that's fine. The game does look better graphically.
Oh, yeah.
So they were able to improve that, but at the end of the day, to me, with everything that was coming out before it and what had already come out, and to go from the first person to third person, I think you need to at least nail what the main mechanics need to be, and I just don't think they really cared or even knew or even tried to even go that direction.
I think the first game that really got it in the Bond way, at least, was Quantum of Solace, I believe. It went from first to third person, like, pretty well. If you ever played Rainbow Six Vegas, it's almost like that, where you're first person all the time, then you'll snap to cover properly in third person. So it took them a while to get it right. I don't know if you ever played that one.
I have not.
No.
But
Yeah.
I think this attributes to EA just kind of not meeting the standards of the era. And
Are you telling me EA had a license that they didn't take care of, that everyone loved and cherished, and then fucked it up?
Well, look, Nightfire was a good game. I quite liked it. Not on the GBA, of course.
Battlefront 1 was a good game.
Sure. And
Yeah.
So we see a pattern here with a lot of their games, and this is what I did like about this was the big positive to playing 3 games made by the same company kind of in succession, where you could see where the franchise went and what they didn't bother to kind of improve upon, and the controls was still a good 5 years behind where it should have been, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I bet their B team made this because they were probably working on like Battlefield and not Battlefield, well, a little bit of Battlefield.
I mean,
another big EA shooter that was out at the time.
It's Redwood Shores, so they already had experience in making Agent Under Fire. So,
Well, maybe they just got tired of doing Bond games. They were just like, fuck it.
I think they just couldn't match the just like in Battlefront, or just like in the Battlefront games, where annual releases is just too fast for developers to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was a good example. What did you think, Kevin?
Not the best Bond game. I actually find it surprising that it was the most expensive. But if I had to like tier them, I'd say Nightfire, Agent Under Fire, and then this one falls in like a hard third. It just seems like the weakest of the three that we played, really.
I'm in agreement with that. And it shouldn't be the case, considering it's the most quote-unquote recent out of them.
Yeah. I feel like this is... It seems like a lot of developer fatigue, mostly. I was just like, dude, we were done making Bond games. Like, especially, as the original games are probably more fun to make at once. When it comes to like a license like Bond, they're like, we have nothing to go off of. Like, they're probably like, worried about making a good Bond story, for the few developers that cared. And then the other half was just like, dude, we just got to shit the game out. Come on.
I did get that. I did get it. I did get that feeling with Everything or Nothing.
Yeah.
The title is kind of poetic in itself in that sense.
Yeah. Half the developers want to give it everything. The other developers like, I don't fucking care.
So
So
I did like the direction of going third person. It made it a very much different feel. I just could not get into the very even more bland story than it had to its predecessors. I just didn't care for it at all. Couldn't get into it. Didn't play the GBA version. I was not going to fall into that trap again.
come on.
I was not about to put myself
I'm gonna
through
do us a
torture.
favor. I'm gonna look at a screenshot of the GBA version, and we'll just see what my reaction is.
All right,
Who
all
knows?
right. Humor me.
Or nothing GBA. I won't watch a video even. Oh no! It's an isometric top-down shooter.
What?
Okay, that seems interesting enough. I hate anything isometric though, so it probably sucks. Okay, enough of that.
I wonder if it plays like the Die Hard trilogy games.
I don't know. I played a little bit of one.
Yeah. But I'm failing James Bond 007, Everything or Nothing.
Boo. Again, not offensive. I'll give it a soft fail.
I would actually give it a soft
okay.
pass. But then again, I didn't actually play it for myself, so I don't know.
God damn it, Colin!
Well, excuse me, princess.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you do that.
Oh, I'll dare all day and night.
Oh, gross. White ink.
Ha.
So I do want to give a shout out to the Gex series. I do like those games. That is a good example of an animal parody of the James Bond games. I think we played Gex 3 specifically, and we kind of had a little fun with that. It was a little too over the top with it, and by that point in the series, though, I think.
Yeah.
Crikey.
My other shout out is a game that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I played it a lot as a young lad. It is called No One Lives Forever.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's a very Bondy game.
Yeah, I had the PS2 version. It is a total parody of James Bond, but you're a female James Bond character, and she's just overly kind of... How do I put this?
Sex.
She's definitely a big sex symbol, but she makes constant sarcastic jokes the whole time, and even the missions themselves are... They put comedy into them, where it's like, oh, you have to go to Morocco and take back this monkey because the monkey has something or another, or it has the code to the nukes that are going to go off, but the nuke is only going to affect a small island that no one cares about or is uninhabited. Something like that. Just stupid, ridiculous things like that throughout the rest of the game. It's there is an annoying yet funny little skydiving sequence where you have to kill enemies in midair and then take the parachute off a dude, and then there's a cut scene of her safely landing on the ground, and then the dude she stole the parachute from falls through the roof of a barn next to her. And she just kind of... I forget the joke she makes, but yeah, No One Lives Forever, I quite enjoy. It has a sort of kind of clunky control scheme that gets a little frustrating at times, but you see a pattern with a lot of these.
That's a PS2 game, right?
It is a PS2 game. I think it's on Xbox and GameCube as well.
Noted.
Let me
PS2
see.
it is.
No One Lives Forever. They made a sequel? No way.
Oh boy.
Oh, excuse me.
It came out in 2000. No, it's PS2 exclusive.
Woo!
So there you go.
Gotta get that DVD player revenue, you know?
Maybe that should be
No
a
One
future.
Lives Forever 2, A Spy in Harm's Way. Harm is an acronym.
Huh.
What's it?
Let's see. How did this
Got
one
a
do?
Kickstarter? What's that one on?
This one only came out on PC.
Oh, whack.
Boo. And it got a 90 out of 100 aggregate score.
Well, I know JD's doing this weekend.
Holy crap. It won several awards?
Best game nobody's ever heard of.
It has a
award goes to-
91 on Metacritic.
Alright, I guess I know what JD's doing.
Game received a nomination for prestigious excellence in writing, but lost to Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell in the end.
Yeah!
It's good competition.
Should have played Splinter Cell. Fuck.
That should be a future podcast subject. Parody games.
Ooh.
If only somebody who was picking the next theme would do that.
I already picked my next theme.
Yeah, I know. Dibs on parody themes.
Okay.
You gotta remind me when it's coming up because I can't keep track of all this shit. We did too many way ahead of time.
Parody themes, Kevin. There we go. Written down.
Thanks, bro.
So we need a topic for episode 52.
Is it,
need a theme.
Whose turn is it?
That's yours for 52.
Well, what are we on now?
48.
I can't. Dude, what the fuck? We're so far ahead of schedule. I can't be doing this.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
I'll never remember. I don't even remember what this week. I thought I had another week for Bond games. I was like, oh, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to have time. Then I got home. I was like, fuck.
Kevin, you know there is a Google Doc made with all the games in there.
No, I don't because I can't read.
And you have access to the Google Doc.
I can't read.
Wow, the American educational system is worse than I thought.
This is not a surprise to anybody.
All right.
Maybe I'll just go to the doctor with my free health care. Oh, wait.
Well, you have to wait a long time for the free healthcare here unless you have a serious injury.
I can't do the podcast properly because I'm dumb. Doctors will understand.
Favorite and least favorite, everybody.
Do we even gonna want to say Nightfire?
So, my favorite is Nightfire, and my least favorite is Nightfire on the GBA.
I got it. Cool. That's kind of where I was leading, but I didn't want to say Nightfire twice.
It's funny how that worked out.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Is everyone
Wait, no,
is
you
everyone
can't
in
say,
agreement?
Wait. No, wait. You can't even say that because Nightfire on anything else wasn't even an official pick. So fuck you.
All right, Agent Under Fire is my favorite. Least favorite's
There we
Nightfire
go.
on the GBA.
Yay! I win.
Huh.
We should have a drop for when somebody gets like both their picks for favorite and least favorite.
Should play the Smash Bros. Victory theme.
Yeah.
The Mario Brothers death sound.
Well, it has to play at the same time as the victory sound.
I'll see if I can mix it.
Thanks.
Although another drop you should do is the musical chime that plays when you pick a level in Mega Man, like da 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 da.
I'll just use your voice, and that'll be the drop.
Yeah, you know what? I actually just want his voice. I just want his voice just set, but like you gotta like mute the volume a bit so it sounds really sad.
Oh no!
I put it with an echo chamber effect.
Guys, did you hear the drop?
Oh boy!
All right.
So, Colin.
Yeah, my picks are the same as JD's.
All right,
Agent
so
Under
we're all in
Fire
agreement.
best, Game Boy Advance, Nightfire worst.
And then I would assume James Bond is everyone else's worst pick.
That would be the second worst, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
close
okay,
second.
cool. Yeah, Nightfire seems like it's so easy to be like, yeah, fuck you, but
Yeah, I was very disappointed in James Bond. It's such a cult classic game too that I
everyone loves it.
don't get it now.
Yeah, it seems
I've been that way with a lot of things.
to be for a very particular crowd.
The goddamn Europeans.
Kevin?
Wait, I'm not wrong. Oh, I thought I said we were all in agreement. We all pretty much picked the same thing.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So our next theme is, I believe it's my pick. Gotta get the document up again.
Is this the PSN one?
It certainly should be. So let me see.
Because I already played one.
Yes, our next theme is simply retro games that you can get on the PlayStation Network. So
Good, I already
very
played my
similar
pick.
to the whole Switch Online topic.
Yeah. You know, except they have a real online network.
And then is episode 50 the Final Fantasy cast?
Episode 50's Console Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Final
You're
Fantasy
gonna run out
cast
of
isn't
consoles.
until like the end of September, so you guys have plenty of time.
You're gonna run out of consoles. You know that, right?
We're gonna run out of consoles?
Like to do like console highlights.
No.
Why don't you just be like, welcome to the Engage
Got plenty of
fucking episode, I guess.
Got plenty. We have plenty.
Cool.
Boo. Alright.
All right.
Cool.
Well, this was episode 48 of the Red Leaf Retrocast. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.
Don't love me quietly. Do it with intensity. Boy, I'll miss